Bonjour à tous, salut tout le monde. Moi c'est Adèle from Ace French and I'm here to help you become an ace at French. Today I'm giving you my secret to help you with the rules for feminine and masculine in French. C'est parti, on y va. In this video, I'm going to explain you the rules for feminine and masculine in French. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to help you differentiate masculine and feminine in French. Let's start with an example. Look at these two words. There is one that is feminine and one that is masculine. What do you think? Which one is which? We're going to ask Marcel to come and help us for that. Marcel, can you show me which one is the masculine word, please?
Grand.
Yes, grand. Très bien, excellent. So now, guys, you can read the feminine one. I'm all ears. Yes, grande, grande. You hear this difference in the pronunciation between the feminine and the masculine? Grande for feminine and grand for masculine. In this situation, we hear this difference because this word is an adjective. An adjective, you might know that it's a word that gives an extra information about another word. For instance, blue, tall, big, small, all of these guys in English. So with adjectives, for most of them, we will hear a difference between the feminine and the masculine option. Just because we add something at the end, what do we add for the feminine option here? Tell me, guys. Yes, an E en français. Excellent, très bien. So because we add this final E for the feminine options, we have to pronounce the consonant that is right before. This is why we say grande. For the masculine, there is no final E, so we don't pronounce the final consonant, the D. We just say grand. Grande with the final E for the feminine and just grand for the masculine. A few remarks about feminine and masculine for adjectives. Some adjectives, they just end with an E, no matter if they are feminine or masculine. It's the case for jeune, moche, imaginaire, libre, etc. So you see, we kind of need this E for the spelling to be correct, so it would be exactly the same for both masculine and feminine. These ones are easy. For some other adjectives, you will not need to add only an E at the end of a masculine word to transform it into a feminine one. You might need also to add another consonant. Par exemple, gros, grosse. You see, for the gros, we have this double S here, not the single one that you see in the masculine option gros. It's the same, for instance, with gentil, gentille. Gentil masculine, we don't pronounce the final L. Gentille, we do hear something more at the end of this one, and we double the L. So that happens sometimes, to double the final consonant at the end to find the feminine option. And don't forget the E, of course. Some other adjectives, they are totally different for the masculine and the feminine. It's not just we add an E or not, they are just different. Par exemple, fou, folle. These two are pretty different. It happens sometimes. Now it's your time to practice. Can you give me the feminine of bleu? Bleu. And you pronounce it, of course. You say it at the same time as I do, right? Now I would like the masculine of haute. Haute. The feminine of original. Original. Très bien. And now the masculine of jolie. Jolie. So, we're done with the adjectives. These guys were the easy ones because you could see or hear the difference between masculine and feminine thanks to this final E letter. Very important. The nouns are a bit more complicated than that. The good news is that this final E letter is going to be feminine most of the time to show you that it's a feminine noun most of the time, but it's not as often enough to make it a rule. It's more a trend. So it's good to know, but don't rely only on this to know if you're dealing with a feminine or masculine noun. Because actually, adjectives could be both, like grand and grande, it's both masculine or feminine. Nouns, most of the time it's just only one gender. Par exemple, une voiture, a car, will always be feminine. Un appartement, apartment, will always be masculine. Une idée, an idea, feminine. Un jeu, a game, masculine. It's just the way it is. So now let me give you some rules to find your way out of this mess. Here is a first rule for nouns. Some categories will always be only feminine or only masculine. Par exemple, nord, sud, est, ouest, north, south, east, west, always masculine in French. The day of the week too, le lundi, le mardi, le mercredi, etc. The month too, janvier, février, mars, avril. We also do the same for seasons. Un printemps, un été, un automne, un hiver, masculine, masculine. We also use masculine for names of trees, le chêne, le roseau, etc. For colors, le bleu, le rouge, le jaune, le vert, and also for languages, le français, le japonais, le portugais, etc. So these ones are good to know, these categories for masculine. Of course, we also have categories for feminine. For instance, the continents. Afrique, Asie, Europe, all of these ones are feminine. We also have the same for the disciplines. Par exemple, la philosophie, l'astronomie, la biologie, etc. All of these disciplines, feminine. We also use only feminine for cars names, une Renault, une Peugeot, une Toyota, etc. Or for businesses, une boulangerie, une pâtisserie, une boucherie, etc. I think you understood so far that the ending is really important in French to figure out if you're dealing with a masculine or a feminine word. Now you're going to look at this slide here and check it out on your own. So here are some examples. Un coiffeur, une coiffeuse. Un serveur, une serveuse. Un chercheur, une chercheuse. Un vendeur, une vendeuse. So with your own knowledge of French or based on what we have discussed so far, look at the endings, the final letters of these words and tell me which ending is the masculine one. EUR. Très bien, excellent, super. Now can you tell me what is the feminine ending for these jobs here? EUSE, very good, très très bien. Good job guys, you figured out a first rule on your own. For many jobs we have the two options, feminine and masculine. Please check out this slide for the recap of all of the endings specific to the masculine and all of the endings specific to the feminine options. Of course, most of nouns, they are not both. They are only masculine or only feminine. And again, here, what is going to help us is the ending of these words. Voici quelques exemples d'une catégorie. Here are some examples for a category. Liberté, opportunité, majorité, égalité. All of these words, and actually they are transparent with English. I think you recognized here opportunity, liberty, majority, etc. So all of these guys, do they sound more like feminine or masculine? What is your instinct tells you guys? Marcel is going to give us the answer. Feminine or masculine for liberté and his friends, Marcel?
Bah, féminine.
Yep, feminine. Ending with an E, with an accent, okay, but it's an E here, so feminine. All of these T words are going to be feminine in French. It's just an example. There are other ones that will always be feminine, and again it depends on the ending. I'm not going to make an exhaustive list right now. There is a recap coming right after to help you. Don't hesitate to pause the video and to do a little snapshot if you want the full list of all of this. My last tip for you today, guys, is to look at the article that comes before your noun. In French, we almost always need to put articles before nouns. It's more flexible in English, but in French you need it. So it's all over the place. You can really look and find them. They're gonna help with the gender. Because if you have a le or an un, your noun will be masculine, for sure. If you have an une or an la, your noun is going to be feminine. As easy as that. Here it is, end of the video for today. I hope that was helpful. So don't forget to look at the endings, the final letters of words. This is going to help you a lot. Remember the categories, but your best ally is going to be your ears and your intuition. Try, guess, even though you make a mistake, you will remember even better the time after. Be exposed to the language, listen to podcasts, make your own vocab list, writing down the gender as well. So use your intuition, your logic, your ears, everything, be patient, and no worries, it's going to be fine, guys, in the end. Merci beaucoup, thank you so much for today. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, to follow me on social media, to comment, to tell me how it was, to give me feedback. I love feedbacks. And I'll see you very soon in a new video. Bye bye guys, salut tout le monde, à bientôt.